Zest is in, where resilience begins, not fixing the cracks.
Hello everyone and welcome to Zest is in with me, Shel, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today I am super excited to welcome Amanda Scott, my incredible guest, who is a licensed clinical professional counsellor, wellness consultant, and a guide for those navigating life's most defining transitions, which we'll talk more about. Through over 15 years of experience supporting ADHD, anxiety, and inner transformation, she blends clinical expertise with soul-led insight. Beautiful. Helping people can reconnect with purpose, clarity, and possibility. This episode will, I believe, open up a powerful conversation around what it truly means to grow with your mind instead of against it, because I think often we're always being so harsh on ourselves, and I believe she's going to show us how to overcome this beautiful, beautiful way of honoring ourselves and our beautiful minds. And if you feel called, I invite you to share a little love by helping amplify incredible guests like Amanda's today, and by subscribing to future episodes. It costs you absolutely nothing but means the world to not only the growth of the podcast but to all my guests, and helps reach many more hearts. So thank you if you already have, and may this episode bring you the clarity, compassion, and trust in yourself. Welcome, Amanda.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yes,
so
excited for it.
Thank you so much. And I guess always before we because you know, in the bio we always share what you're doing, which is absolutely incredible. But I always love to know like the background behind how we begin. And we develop, because obviously sometimes things develop just by chance of whatever field we're in, or sometimes it's just something within us that we just have that passion to just seek more of and do more of. So I would just love to know where it all kind of stemmed from, really.
Oh my goodness. Well, I actually have like a beautiful story of where this part stemmed from. Prior to counseling and coaching, I was a teacher. So I worked all across the board. I worked early education, special education, and like all through elementary, junior high, high school. I got a little taste of everything to try to figure out what I liked most. And in one of my last places, I had a student come up to me, and this it gets beautiful. Just hold on. But they came up to me.
It sounds beautiful already. Keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Miss Amanda," because I like Miss Amanda better than anything else. So I was like, "I am Miss Amanda when you're in my room. Don't worry." But Miss Amanda, I almost thought about killing myself today. Like, this is like, boom. I was like, can I write you a past year counselor? What do we need? What can I do? And they said, no. I thought, I want to see Miss Amanda today, though. So I came to class instead.
So you're gonna make me cry.
Whoa. Like, I was like in between, in a panic shock of like, what am I supposed to do right now to make sure everything stays safe? And what can I do right now to just be with this person that came to see me? But they said, you're going to make me laugh. You always make me laugh.
Yeah.
I just wish I could talk to you about cool stuff. Which I was like, this is science class. Everything in here is cool, but I don't know what you're talking about, right? But either way, something shifted in that moment, that conversation, where I was like, I want to be the person that they could talk about cool stuff with, and be there, hold that space, and get them through that moment, that wave, to where they come to a place where there's enough to enjoy that I can overcome these hurdles, right? So, yes. And then from there, spiraled in that I recognized ADHD is
Yeah,
kind of my
yeah.
wheelhouse of I get it, I understand it, and I love helping people see how to work with it and it become
Mm,
almost an advantage versus
yes,
like
yes.
this, I call it sandpaper friction. It's just like when we're working in the wrong direction, it just like, oh, it has that feeling of
Yeah, you described that so beautifully. And do you mind me asking how old was that child or
they
um,
teen. It was high
teenager?
school
Yeah.
age. Yeah.
But do you know, and I feel like there's a reason why I wanted to ask you that because not that necessarily the age matters, but it was more so because I was a teacher as well, and I did literally bad babies to yeah,
Mhm.
and teenagers. Wow, I did a little experience of that, and wow. And the only reason why I ask is because this is just I would love you to expand on this, but I've had not as explicit as that, but I've had certain things said to me again about where you can detect the underlayer of a little depression where like I like it when I'm in your around you. My heart feels
Mhm.
happy, things like that. And hiding when it's home time, things like that with the little ones, which
Mhm.
and then equally, I feel like from your beautiful chef, thank you so much. Um, I actually think, and obviously not all teenagers are the same, but I actually think it's very hard for them to have that particular person, like you know them better, but to really express that because there is this like pressure I feel on them of like not being able to open their hearts that rawly to someone and because they're also aware generally more so than the little ones that when they express things it well as a professional we have to say we can't
Mhm.
promise them that we can keep things and that as a teenager they are very aware of this. So first of all, thank you so much for sharing that. And I can tell there's so much still raw emotion with that. And it just shows what a phenomenal person you are and how loving and cared for they feel. And actually, I'm really happy that you said about the Miss Samantha because, yeah, it's so formal in education, in secondary. And I always found it really odd the first time I was told to say Miss Shelley, and I was like, oh, this feels weird. Like they're my friends because they'd be like Shelley, they wouldn't say Miss, and I'd be like, this is this is so weird. But afterwards, and it had to go back to my surname, I really did not like it because it just
Mhm.
felt very me and them and I love the actual the closeness the intimacy and even though again like say it does feel kind of like when they're younger or it doesn't matter what age but sometimes it does feel a little bit like informal but then I realized that's the beauty of it
Mhm.
um
Like
so
we're here in this room just being human. And it's
yes
like I might be
yes
guiding you more than you're guiding me, but I'll say even from the little ones, they teach you something each and
oh
every day.
so much
So
so
much fun.
much yeah absolutely greatest blessings I think children are um so just thinking about that was that particular teenager were they diagnosed or not diagnosed or um did something come of that or like um
And then I'm just in the nature of the type of classes I was teaching then. There were definitely everybody in the class had
yeah
a diagnosis, an IEP plan,
yeah
all the good stuff. And
yeah beautiful. Obviously, I want to go on to more of what you're doing now. But before
Mhm.
that, I really, and I feel and sense that you're similar. I really feel this labeling, and I get, but I feel like it's getting more and more, and particularly not only children, adults are starting to define themselves by a description, a narrative, a way that, they're reading something and then like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm just like, of course, it's important that we recognize it and we see, because I honestly believe from teaching, I believe these children sometimes have the most incredible gifts. Like, they are, the way their minds work and the things they say and do, it's just that the system, and this is only I've not been in every single school around the world, but I've been in quite a few and they're quite similar. I feel like the system just doesn't allow sometimes for their expression. Like, I remember having a child sat on my lap once for an observation, and it just calmed the child, okay? And they just said that, no, this is inappropriate. They need to all sit around. They need to be straight up, and because they're not listening. And I'm like, you can ask him anything and he will know exactly what is happening, more than the one that might be sat there with their eyes bulging out the head like, oh yeah, we got to sit and listen, like, because they're doing the right thing, but they're so uncomfortable. And it's not saying let chaos go, in the classroom, but I just think it needs updating. I know people and even adults now that need to doodle and they will absorb everything. So what is this only one way that a child can learn? I just, and naturally there's friction because you're going against, then you're not, because you are just expected to go in and do it the way that we tell you to, even though you know that it's not right for some of those children. They're not going to thrive at their highest. So I always found that quite a bit of a little bit of a battle,
Right. But I was hearing two big pieces in that, because you started with the labeling, right? And that is such a huge, I'm kind of like, I always see the ads like, this is for you if, this is not for you if, and I am definitely this is not for you if you want me to say, oh yeah, we can give you this code, and then you no longer have to participate in life. You just say, I have this code. I don't have to do that. I'm like, oh, that's not me. That's not what we're going to do. It's going to be, these things come up and I struggle greatly with them, and I'm still going to reach every goal I have in my life because I can, right? It's like, if we can think it up, we can achieve it. Like, our brain would not come up with things that we can. Like, and this might be like the ADHD crowd. I'm like, okay, red flag that. If we think up how we're going to start to fly tomorrow, okay. That's not the kind of goal I'm talking about. But even that, it is possible. It's just not going to be possible by flapping our arms. We could figure it out. Let's go sign up for piloting lessons, right?
Yeah. That's so powerful what you said, and I really want to make sure I've heard it correctly, because like, going back to the advert, I remember, like, even in the UK there was an advert of like, if you're coughing or you're this and you're this, and I remember being around someone going, oh yeah, oh that's what it is like, and I'm like, no, you have not, stop it, don't tell your brain that. I'm not saying that these adverts, these awareness, things like that, these guidelines are not important. Of course, like, even in your field of work, it's very, very important. However, as I'm sure you can expand on, when we say ADHD or autism or anything, this person doesn't just appear and they all are like carbon copy. There's such a spectrum. Like, I always think when you say ADHD, and I, again, would really love your take on this, but from what I've noticed, it's always thought of as the person like tapping and hanging off things and making lots of noise and just causing a little bit of chaos and havoc, and they might be sweet, but it's like a kind of tornado going around. But that's not actually, well, I would love, you're the professional here, but I found that that's not true. I've noticed that sometimes it can actually be quite quiet. It can be anxiety, it can be worry, it can be like over cleaning, being obsessed with something. So I just love your take on this.
No, and there's actually a couple doctors out there who have written books and talked about like subtypes.
Yeah.
And I definitely see that. I'm like, I don't know if I see it exactly how they say it, but that just might be like the difference of opinion. But I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
definitely agree that there does tend to be like, yes, there are some that are similar, but then there's also like this, I guess it's just I want to stray a bit from that grouping of like, well, you
yeah,
then, right?
yeah,
Then we
yeah,
get stuck in the, well, then it's one of these six groups. And I
yeah,
much
yeah.
rather get like
Thank you
the
for sharing that.
individual for how the individual is. But I've definitely have seen that part of like some that run. I mean, this is if we go to diagnostics, we think there's inattentive,
Mm,
hyperactive,
mm,
impulsive, or mixed presentation.
yeah,
So I'm like, even that, if we do like the bare bones of those three categories, inattentive, possibly the worst possibly labeled, because I find to be the complete opposite of I am paying attention to so many things. I can't actually pay attention to the thing I'm trying or supposed to pay attention to, right?
yeah,
But then we have like the hyperactive impulsive would be more of the stereotypical of how like it used to be viewed as, and
naughty.
they have gender bias, but it was the little boys who ran around the
Yeah,
classroom and
the
couldn't sit
naughty ones.
still.
They're
Yes.
cheeky but naughty. Of oh,
Mhm.
it just that's just what they do.
Mhm.
No.
But then we have mixed presentation where, and there's a part where I see that, and this goes into a lot of what women tend to experience. The
Yes.
impulsivity is happening mentally. It
Yeah.
is bing, 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 bing with there was,
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. I wish I could give them credit for it because I thought it was so fantastic. They created a little reel video of like what an ADHD brain sounds like. And there was like
Yeah.
a song playing in the
Yeah.
background and I wonder like how many times, I wonder how many frogs actually exist in a pond, you know? And then there's
Yes.
like there's a
Yes.
video game like theme
Yes.
song coming
Yes.
through too. And then there's this other conversation. It's like sometimes it's those, but 90% of it is worried thoughts of,
Yes.
did I
Yes.
do that? Did I get that done? What face am I making? Am I in the right direction? Am I sitting still? Is my posture like
Yeah.
all of, but like wild and it's all going on
I
inside.
know.
I think
Yeah.
this is one of those parts where I hear it a lot with partners or with parents. They don't know what's happening on the
Well, because
inside,
it's
but what they're
internal. Yeah.
seeing, they're seeing like inconsistency or things not getting done, but they don't realize there is like all of this
Yeah.
going on the inside then, and that's what's
Mm.
getting in the way. It's not a lack of desire or a lack of motivation or a lack of
Yeah.
ability. So much of it, we have all the intelligence we could possibly need.
Mm.
It's implementing it and implementing it at the time it's needed.
Yes.
That's the biggest
Yes.
hurdle we're
Yeah.
trying to get over. Mhm.
And would you say, just expanding on that, because I think often there's lots of people that aren't actually diagnosed as well, the more quieter ones that
Mhm.
we don't know because, again, we've not expressed what's always going on in our minds. And would you say though that the environment also plays a huge part of it? Because I noticed that. For example, say you've got the TV on, you've got the music playing, you've got people speaking, you've got that's then a very high overactive mind with a very overactive environment, and it's almost like two spinners hitting
Mhm.
together at once. And then yeah, because I don't know. I just noticed these types of things because I equally saw, and it's again not labeling or anything because I think all of us, like, what is normal? We all have elements of something. But I remember it was a comedian, and he was talking about his wife, and he was saying how sorry, no, but they are funny, but they teach you
Mhm.
something because comedians are very intelligent, and he was saying how basically the laces from his shoes were missing, and he was like, "What's happened?" And then he says he looks outside, and his wife's there, and she's made something, and obviously I know whether it's true or he was expanding it, because I'm sure it's very entertaining living with someone who also has, um, we won't label, but you know what I'm trying to say. And so what it was is she was trying to rescue an animal, and she was using his laces to make a
Oh
ladder.
my goodness.
And so I don't know, it just sticks with me. And then he says, oh, and she collects these stones. He's talking about gemstones, but she goes and collects all these stones and puts it and rubs them. And then again, it's not saying that that is ADHD, but he's just saying from his perspective. And I was just thinking, like, I don't do all that, but I was thinking I do similar things to this, but I will start something, go somewhere, start something else. But I have a very creative mind, and sometimes I get so lost in the creativity. But I remember a boyfriend of mine once said to me, gosh, I can see where you've been all day around the house. But for me, I always clean it up, I always whatever. But I know we're going off on a tangent here, but I was just trying to explain that essentially, even though we're going to dive into what you're talking about, it is sometimes funny from another perspective, but actually, like what you so beautifully said, it might be funny to others, but you really don't know what's going on in that person's brain and the reason why they go and check the cooker 7 times, or but you know what I mean, because
Right. And there's a whole bunch of that of like one time once being forgetful. I probably one of my favorite things to replace as fast as I can for people. I'll have people be like, "Oh, and I was so stupid." And I'm like, "You
yeah,
were so mindless."
yeah,
We have
don't tell
mindless
your brain
moments. As
that.
humans, we have mindless moments probably multiple times a day. It's
Mm,
okay, right? But that part of we have a mindless moment, and then there's like the lovely part of being able to have like voices chiming in all different directions is we get
yeah.
that voice that comes in of like, did you forget to do that again? Did you forget? I forgot
Mm,
to do that again. You better go check and make sure because we don't want to have like we've had the negative consequences of that. So now it's like, and that's where I'll have people wonder if they have obsessive compulsive disorder. And
yeah.
it's more like a hypervigilance. It's like, dare I say, almost a trauma response from
Yes.
having such negative outcomes in the past, and then like that lens tainting the situations
Yeah.
we have moving forward.
Absolutely, and I guess that's why, not saying that it's always linked, but I guess that's why you speak of anxiety as well, because like what you say, like it's funny to feel like it's always positive things, but I don't know
Mhm.
if it's, again, like there's much study on it, but yeah, when it's a negative mind, that's then this intense negativity going on in the brain, which really isn't nice.
Mhm.
Um, so just with that in mind, you just shared such a beautiful example of the reframing. Is there anything else you feel like people listening right now, or even defining like some of the characteristics, things like that? Like, of course, again, it's not a checklist, a tick list. Like it's more so like for curiosity and for people maybe to reach out to you and just like be interested in knowing things, because I also know that like I even know a woman like now near her 40s, and she's just been diagnosed, never once thought that she had it, and yeah, and I feel like she had quite a hard time in like judgments of kind of not easily making friends, things like that. So again, she's just had this like labeling almost, that she's not an easy person to get on with, she's not this, she's not that, when actually it's ended up being something far greater than that. And I think, again, like it's not saying that, we need to go and find something to hold on to, like what we said, and then, oh, that's me. We're not saying that, but just if you could just share things so people could just be aware of, we are not our behaviors, like give ourselves more grace and love and compassion, I think.
And that's, I think there's a huge part about right in with that. Label the behavior, whatever you want to label.
Yeah,
Don't label the self. Like
yeah.
one behavior does not make us. And I'm like, again, and this is by far my favorite part of working with the ADHD brain is how, well, but it's a pattern. And once it's a pattern, then we label it. I'm like,
Mm,
well, that's what the brain loves to do. And if it's a
yes.
pattern, that shows we've created a habit, and habits can be broken. We can create
Yes.
new habits. Like, that still doesn't necessarily identify us. If we can recognize it and want it to be different, then clearly it's not us, right?
Exactly, because you're aware of it.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing. Because I think again, like there's this like notion that the person doesn't know what they're doing. No, often and again, it's not a general, but they're aware of it. They still know. They're aware of their actions, their behaviors, and I think awareness in anything, mental health, anything, is key. Because if you are aware of it, then you are observing it, you are noticing it. And like what you so beautifully said, and it almost just takes someone like you to say that. Like, so it sounds like such a simple thing that you said, but it wasn't. It was really powerful. That's the beauty of a habit. We might go for a run. Some people might go for a run, go for a run, go for a run, then they don't do that anymore, and they start a new habit. And we can do that. And I think, yeah, we think that this is just me, this is just what I do. And you so beautifully articulate that. So thank you.
No, I possibly dare I say, the funnest part of even mental health in general is how to achieve mental health is very simple. It's really simple stuff of when we don't control our thoughts, right? That's not we're not trying to just have happy thoughts. I am by no means a toxic positivity type of lady. I'm like, we need them both. The law of polarity would say we need negative and positive. That's okay. We got it. We want them both. If we didn't have negative, we wouldn't have positive. So we want those negatives. We want to handle them differently. And even with anxiety, I have people who come in and they're like, you got to get this to go away. And I'm like, oh, we will never get it to go away. That is not the goal. We need to immediately reframe our goal. Anxiety is going to be with us our whole life. However, when it shows up and it's like that family member that just like knows how to push your buttons, but you love them because they're family. That is who anxiety is.
The brain can be so unkind sometimes.
Yep.
Yes.
They're going to say a few things that we wish they just would have kept to themselves, but it's going to be fine. Yes.
I hear you, and that was such a beautiful example, because I think, there's this element as people that I feel like we want to overcome things, we want to conquer things, we want to master things. And like when I was working on my brain, like doing it and like like noticing a huge difference after, let's just say, and it's not for everyone but for me, a long period of time, ongoing, every day, showing up and really reframing. And then I thought, I've mastered it, wow, I want to share this with other people. And it will come back. And this again is not saying that this is for everyone, but essentially it does, like what you said, like own it. And I really was harsh on myself then. I was really horrible on myself because of that. Like, no, this shouldn't have returned. Like, I got over this. But like what you so wisely said, that again is being unkind again when you're criticizing yourself. So you think you've overcome something, but then you're criticizing something that you would then say, you see the pattern of like, it's like a double layer. So thank you, really thank you for mentioning that. And absolutely. And I guess like with the reframing and really just owning and being honest with the types of things that you're saying, that also can help with emotional regulation and the nervous system. Because again, if we're trying to be almost perfect and eliminate something, then yeah, our nervous system be like, whoa, 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 what's happening? What, whereas like what you so beautifully said, from the start, when I'm guessing you're with your clients, you don't do false promises. You tell them this is the situation. However, what we are going to do is do, 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 do.
Exactly. Yeah. It goes into even like when we think of ADHD, this is not it is not strep throat. We don't do antibiotics and then it goes away. This is something that how our brain is wired, and I think this is a beautiful moment to put this in because I think it's such an important part. How it wires in, like the brain and the nervous system, specifically with ADHD presentation, is we get, and you can call it interest-based or passion-based, but it's that part of you have to feel it. Now, it gets in the way because I'll have people be like, yeah, I just didn't feel like I could do it today, so I didn't. And I'm like, oh, we got to overcome that. Like sometimes we have to still do it, but living your entire life with the idea of if you are not interested or passionate about it in some way, you can't do it. Like you just can't. Like
want to change.
That's amazing. Now, life comes with just the important stuff that we have to do. So there's a lot in learning of how do we make an amount of interest? How do we find our why for the important stuff? Because we can't just say, well, I didn't feel like it, so I didn't do it. Like, I get you want to feel it, but how do we create that feeling for even the things that we're like ho-hum about? Because they exist too. We're going to have them.
Yeah.
But yes, I think you have talked about like trying to overcome, trying to smash it out. And the real thing we're working on is how do I make space for it?
Yeah.
How do I say like, this is here, this is what's happening, and I can find ways to flow with it versus like, yeah, I have people talk like they're the Hulk, right? Or they're the Kool-Aid man, smashing through the wall. And it's like, what if we found a way to flow with so we didn't have to use all of this to do the thing, but we could find a way that we could just naturally get ourselves in there.
That's so beautiful. And obviously without sharing personal details, is there like an example you could provide of that? Because I think that's really powerful what you just shared, of like an example of something someone might be facing and then how you would kind of approach it.
Well, and it can be rather simple. If we think of task, I tend to pull on, there's like motivational factors, right? Interest, novelty, challenge, urgency. Urgency works every time, but it comes with stress. So I'm always like, let's have urgency be plan Z. When all else is failed, we'll bring in urgency, we'll get it done. But things like interest, what can we do? Oh, we have to clean the house, but what if we clean the house with our favorite playlist? I heard somebody say you cannot play the playlist unless you're cleaning the house, where I was like, I don't think I could do that because I love my favorite, like I need my playlist every day and I can't clean my house I could, but it really would become unbeneficial.
Just before you continue, I think that's really, really important what you just expressed there, because we don't want to set ourselves up to fail either. So if you're going to make a commitment and then you know that you're going to be like, no, this is ridiculous, I'm not doing that. Like, the ratio of cleaning your house to one to listening to your favorite playlist is not really a good alignment. So thank you. That's a perfect example. But please continue. I love that.
But there is having your favorite playlist going and being able to jam out whatever your style makes it more enjoyable.
Changes the experience.
We got a passion for the music, and we might as well do something while we have this fabulous playlist going. I have others, like, I feel like it's very rare that I meet ADHD presentation not loving playlists, but it happens. And then I say audiobooks, podcasts, whatever it is that you are interested in listening to, we couple it with that other activity that's not as much fun.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I think even people, just general anyone could really take from that because,
Hmm.
like naturally there's times where adulting is, we don't want to keep doing the same, like, when you see the next week comes and the next load of washing and then of course, we're naturally like, but obviously I'm not speaking for the whole world here, but there's probably hardly any person that jumps and is excited to do that every single week. Yeah, I think, yeah, just think about those things that you do need to do. We want to keep our house clean, we want to keep ourselves clean, our things clean, but equally, how can you make it into an experience so it doesn't feel like a chore? And I think
Hmm.
that's really, really beautiful. Thank you. um so I don't want to use too much more of your time because I really appreciate it so far. But I really want you if there's anything you feel like you didn't express that the listeners would really benefit from hearing or knowing, like, please feel free to share it now.
I think the biggest part is that piece of I I have people come to me who, and kind of as you were saying with the school, and like you have to sit this way and look this way and do it this way. They come to me thinking they're broken. And that like I like something has to, there's a screw loose up there, something's going on. We need to tighten it up or rewire. And it's not broken. There's nothing, and there's such a big part of like, you do not come broken. You come
You are
as you
you.
are, and we figure out the whole goal of my work when I'm working with people is to get them to get the like kind of systems down. I
Unlearn, yeah. Unlearn what you learn. Yeah.
I talk about how it's like a row of dominoes, and we just layer up these great habits, and then they just easily knock into one another,
Mm.
knocking them down, right? It's just bop, 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 bop. Now it's easy to move forward each day.
And I think that's why I love connecting with people like you, because I think, when awareness, we do start becoming aware and we start noticing these things and start comparing ourselves. Compassion is the compassion, comparison is the, just not good for anyone. I love that. This is the thing, is I think even with healing, sometimes we go on this, oh, I need to heal this and then heal this, and we become obsessive and we want everything. Once we see a little result, we want everything now perfected, done, solved. And what you so beautifully said when I think about the dominoes effect is, whoa, back to that compassion, that grace, that love, not the Hulk. Stop. Let's just start with this one. Let's just really focus on this one. Once we feel like this one, we've got that flow, we've integrated it, our body feels better now because, our body, boom, 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 it's too much. Now okay, this is surface now. And I think that's really beautiful. And I don't like to say the masculine and the feminine, but we do have both. And I feel like that's more the feminine flow. That's the mothering yourself, the being kind to yourself again, which I think a lot of us, doesn't matter about gender, but a lot of us need to do more. We
Right.
need to be our own parent. And we had so many, like when you go back to the unlearn, well, you didn't say unlearning, I did, but you said about the systems of sit up, that's not right, that's not right, oh, I'm constantly the one that can't do what everyone else does. We've had so much of that and the noise that,
Hmm.
how about let's stick up for ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. You are really good at this. You are really phenomenal at this. And use those words, because once again, we've been almost told that we can't big ourselves, that we can't be too much greater than ourselves. But I think, again, it's not now turning people into egotistic, walking around, I'm so amazing. That's not what we're saying. But when you've had such a horrible mind sometimes, a very unkind mind, you do need to do that to get the balance, I think, because you would never go fully that way, because your mind, like what you say, is always going to creep in with those little things. So I feel like, and again, like, please expand this, but I feel like you do need to almost really give yourself that cheerleader, that encouragement, that love, that support, in order to then find that happy medium of, okay, sometimes it's going to be like this, but remember, kindness, love, pick yourself up. It's okay, today wasn't a great day, but tomorrow it'll be even better. So yeah, I just think,
I would say by far one of the biggest struggles I see with the people I'm working with, they're afraid there's this slippery slope of, if I start giving myself love and compassion, I'm going to become like a wild narcissistic egomaniac. And it's like, no. Like, if you were going to become that, you'd be that now. Like,
yes.
Well, I would be referring you to somebody who works with narcissistic personality disorder. This is not really my wheelhouse, and I want you to have somebody skillful, right? It's like,
yeah,
even having the thought that we're worried about that kind of proves it.
Yes, so but it's back to what we just said. Yeah. You're observing, you're aware of it, so you won't be.
But I understand. We do kind of, it's almost a shame that, like, from early on, like, it's bragging, it's boasting if we talk about anything good. And so many of us get on this track of, then we have to either talk about what's bad or not talk, where it's like, we could say the good things, and even if we don't want to say them out loud, inside, it's like, that's the most important part. It's fine if you don't want to tell this person and that person, as long as you're telling inside, like, I did do a good job today. I nailed it. I got it on time today. All of those, celebrate it. ADHD tends to come with insufficient dopamine. So there's that natural, ta-da, you did it, doesn't happen, and it feels flat. So it's like even more important to be like, you did it. All right, let's do it again later, though.
Amanda, I think it's incredible what you are doing, and I'm sure there's going to be so many people that have just been just as inspired as me by this episode. I'm just before you go, if there's one word, and it doesn't have to be linked to ADHD, but if there's one thing that you would like to tell someone listening right now that you think they would really benefit from hearing, what would you tell them?
Well, it is, I would say, the title of one of the best books ever, and what I love about it is it also, like, makes me like, is the lady who wrote Everything is Figureoutable. And I'm like, dang it. It is. Shoot, I have to keep going because this is figureoutable. It's like, I love it because it's so true. It's like, of course. And I often do bibliotherapy where I tell people, you need to read this book because it is amazing. And I need to warn you, for the rest of your life, you're going to go, dang it, it is figureoutable. How, though?
But what a beautiful problem
every time. I can't just give up. I know it's figureoutable.
But what a beautiful way to solve a problem, to like what you've just said, to almost be like, about solving your own problem. Like, that's what we want to be encouraging more of.
I just wanted to wave the white flag, but I know I can't.
Thank you so much. You've been an incredible guest, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being on this podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. It was a lot of fun. Yes.
Thank you.
It's the magic that Zest is in.